Good evening, everyone. This is Vikas Singh Bungla. I am presently working as PGT Physics at Ganga International School, Sauda, Delhi. And hereby, I welcome you all on behalf of Dr. Kalam International Foundation and International Association for Quality Education. My heartiest greetings to Mr. Kamal Gowda, the President of IAFQE, Mr. Sudhakar Sir, President of DKIF, Dr. Rashmi Tyagi ma'am, Patron DKIF, and Ms. Shweta Singh ma'am, Vice President of DKIF. Today, as we all know, the webinar is about art integrated learning in science. And obviously, as far as the current curriculum is concerned, this particular topic is going to be very important for all of us as educators as well as learners. So this session will cover the following things. First, it is going to cover the need of art integration in science, how integrating art into science students can understand the interrelatedness of everything that they learn. Third thing is how this method of teaching and learning promotes creativity and collaboration, and all of this leads to scientific literacy. So literacy is not only limited up to learning languages. Now it has been ranged even up to the scientific level. So today we have with us Dr. Pratibha Singh ma'am, a very well known and eminent personality in the education world today. I welcome you ma'am warmly on this international platform. Let me just give you all a brief about what she has been doing in her life. So she belongs to Meerut, UP. She has done her she has done her education in MSc Environmental Sciences from GB Pant University. Her PhD is also in Environmental Sciences. She is a double MSc in botany as well. She has completed her B.Ed and CTET qualified. Apart from these things, talking about her awards and fellowships, she is the recipient of Graduate Teaching Assistantship during MSc, recipient of GB Pant University Research Fellowship during PhD, and qualified UGC NET in the June 2000 and December 2000. She is awarded CSIR SRF Senior Research Fellowship in 2002, and she is a life member of International Society of Chemists and Biologists. The book that she has written is Environmental Studies for Graduate and Postgraduate Students. Her research areas includes heavy metal toxicity, plant physiology, air pollution, and environmental issues. Papers and publication that she has done, that she has presented papers in international and national symposiums and conferences. Papers that she has published that are in research journals, magazines, and many books. She has over 15 years of experience in the field of education, taught at various levels like Chaudhry Charan Singh University, engineering colleges, pharmacy colleges, and school level. She has also delivered talks on environmental issues on local FM radio channel and currently working as PGT Biology in Navy Children's School, Karwar. I welcome you all. I welcome you, ma'am, again. Now you can start off with your things.
Thank you, Vikas, for introducing me with my esteemed audience. Can you see my screen, Vikas? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible, ma'am. It's perfectly visible.
Okay. Thank you once again, Vikas. Now, I am here to give my talk, and today's topic is art integrated learning in science. As we all know that National Education Policy 2020 and NCFSE 2023, they both have given a lot of emphasis on this art integrated learning in all major subjects. because they increase the horizons, they increase the creativity level, and they help in building up of 21st century skills as well as life skills. That's why it's a very great topic of significance nowadays for all educators as well as learners. So here I am to give the talk on this art integrated learning. I will cover my talk under following heads. Firstly, I'll explain what is the difference between science and arts. Then what is AIL and why it is required, different art forms which can be utilized in major subjects. How does it work? Then how can an educator plan for art integrated learning? Major focus areas need to be considered by an educator while planning for this art integrated learning. What are major or requirements for art integrated learning? How does art integrated learning affect or benefits both? It is a both way beneficial process for educators as well as learners. Then how can an educator do assessment in this teaching learning process using this pedagogy? Then what are assessment tools can be used by teachers? Then I will come to what is the main interest of this talk is I'm going to show you few real life examples where students have incorporated this arts in science. So let me first explain the science. Science is the knowledge of subject based upon documentation, based upon experimentation, whatever systematic knowledge is gained by us or by learners, that is referred as science, which provides systematic idea about physical as well as biological world. While arts is the creativity, arts is the imagination, that systematic data which we have attained on the basis of experimentation, how can we deliver that knowledge to the world or to the others based upon different type of imagination, not only just by experimentation. So experimentally established knowledge, if it is imparted to learners using different form of creativity, using different form of arts, then this is known as arts. Definition wise, art is referred as creative expression to explain anything. It can involve both type of things, all type of things, like it can be verbal, like in form of song, it can be enactment, it can be visual form of art, it can be written form of art, or any other creative form of art to deliver the thoughts. That is referred as arts. Now, after telling you about arts and science, what is art integrated learning? Art integrated means incorporation of arts, any form of arts into major subjects. I mean, major subjects means which are considered as heavy subjects. There are in the schools, there are two categories of periods or two categories of subjects. Few subjects are considered as light subjects, while few subjects are considered as heavy or main subjects, major subjects. So art integrated learning mainly refers to involvement of these arts, involvement of this light form, involvement of these light periods topics, like your music, like your dance, like your arts, like your paintings, in the learning process of major subjects, major heavy subjects, like your social studies, like your maths, like your science. So this is a pedagogy where we integrate the arts with major subjects. That is called art integrated learning. Why this is required? To reduce the heaviness, to reduce the load of those subjects, or to increase the interest of students in those main subjects. Arts integration is required. It helps in demonstration and explanation of those facts which can be in by those ways which can be appreciated, which can be welcomed, and which can be retained easily by the students. Now, what different art forms can be included in these subjects? First category involves visual arts. Visual arts involve like placards, like drawings, like sketches, like paintings, which are visually observed by students. Second category involves media arts. Media arts like any documentary, any podcast. Nowadays, podcast is very much in use. Any animated video, any video. All these include the media art. Literary art includes any writing material and dissertation report, any prose, any poetry, any type of song. Fourth category of this arts is performing arts, where students perform, where movements are also involved. Movements means physical movements. They can be dance, they can be music, choreography, nukkad natak, skits, mimes, role plays, theaters, etc. So these are four major categories of arts which can be incorporated in science and other major subjects also. Now, working of art integration. Actually, there are 4C principle in case of this art integration. According to NEP, this art integration includes these 4Cs. Firstly, communication. Communication means mostly art integration is done in groups. So between the peers and even between teachers and learners, there should be clear-cut guidance. There should be clear-cut guidelines to perform that particular task, to clarify that concept. In starting, there should be clear communication between both of these pillars. Both of these pillars, I mean teacher as well as learner. Then next coming to communication. Communication means next is collaboration. Collaboration means teamwork depending upon skills. Because this is arts, we have seen different forms of arts, and all students are not having same type of skill sets. Some are good in choreography, some are good in writing, some are good in poetry. So depending upon that, proper collaboration needs to be there. Communication is there, means proper guidelines are provided to students. Then collaboration is there between that teammates. Then after this collaboration and receiving the guidelines from the teachers, here comes the role of critical thinking. Like I am a teacher, I will assign a task to my students. I will assign some problem or task or explain some concept. Based upon that solution to any problem or solution to simplify that concept, solution to explain that concept in a creative way. Here comes the role of critical thinking. Critical thinking needs to be done from the student side. And after critical thinking or brainstorming session, last pillar of this art integration, last principle of this art integration is creativity, where clear guidelines are there, proper task is assigned, proper concept is explained to student, collaboration is there, students have decided, students have discussed, they have tried to find out the ways to simplify, to express that concept in a critical way. Here comes the last pillar of this art integration, and that is called creativity. That creativity can be in form of writing prose, that can be in form of making a model, that creativity can be in form of any dance form. So these are the 4Cs on the basis of this arts integration learning is based. Now here we can see art integrated learning includes all these 21st century skills like aapka communication, like aapka leadership. It works in the partnership for 21st century skills. Apart from 21st century skills, life and career skills are also major focused areas which are covered easily by this integration of art. Life and career skills like vocational skills, especially at higher level, especially at secondary level, these career skills play a very important role. Now, within this art integration, core subjects like maths hai, science hai, they need to be correlated with 21st century skills. Nowadays, that part is over, that time is over, that only chapter is covered by teacher and syllabus is done. We have to integrate, we need to incorporate all these 21st century skills as well as life skills as well as career skills in our curriculum. Learning and innovation skills as well. And of course, it's the time of computers, that information ICT is also very important focus area of this art integration. All these courses, on the basis of these skills and on the basis of these 4Cs, art integration works. Now, how can a teacher plan for art integrated learning? First is there should be 100%, means teacher should assure the maximum participation in her or in his class. Everyone needs to be involved in that task. Then in between, depending upon concept, depending upon topic, depending upon strength of class, use of group discussions. Group discussions should be there. In between, brainstorming sessions means concept is given and students suddenly they will come up with their original ideas. Here comes the significance of this is the difference between group discussions. Group discussion means after thinking, after discussing, they will come up with their ideas, while brainstorming, using the brainstorming, teacher will be able to get some unique ideas which can be helpful to develop their innovation skills also. Then in between, icebreakers at appropriate time intervals is required, assignment, but different assignment can be assigned to all team members. They can be in group of two, or particular to single assignment to a single student can be assigned. And lastly, the group objects. So using all these different means of planning, teacher can opt for incorporating art integration in science. These are the, if teacher is planning for art integration at TGT level. TGT level, I mean for 8th, 9th, 10th class especially. Then firstly, though, he needs to, and one more thing, keep planning has to be done well in advance. Before going to classroom, before starting the topic, proper planning, that can be included in lesson plan also. So planning should be there well in advance. Challenging activities teachers need to find out, and those activities can be related to their social life, they can be related to their daily life, but their competency must be there, they must be related to their subjects. It's not like this, yes, multidisciplinary approach is there, but it's not like that I am going to teach their biology and I have chosen the any activity which is purely based upon mathematics. This is only the involvement, this is only the incorporation, not the complete replacement of the concept. So firstly, assign the activities which are related to subject, which are able to develop subject-related competency. Then self-awareness must be there. Self-awareness, I mean, students must be aware about their skills. And if they are not aware, so while using brainstorming sessions or icebreakers, teachers need to find out, teachers need to increase the awareness among the students. Then all those activities which are assigned to students, these activities should be able to fulfill their social emotional needs also. Because in art integrated learning, why this is significant, because it involves all the three domains of learning. All the three, I mean आपका cognitive domain, thinking power, आपका kinesthetic domain means आपका physical movement, as well as और आपका affective domain also. So according to that, this diagram is made, this sketch is made. It should cover your socio-emotional needs, then inclusive and non-discriminatory. Inclusive, NEP also suggests, NEP also prefers the inclusive education covering the holistic development of child. Inclusive means if special children are also there, children with special needs are there, if any slow learner are there in your class, you need to involve, you need to make them part of your team also. It is based upon inclusive education without any non-discrimination. Here, it should fulfill, it should be able to develop 21st century skills while going through that learning teaching process. Use of ICT is also again very important. Then excursion and field visit. Excursion and field visit, by this environmental skills, आपकी life skills, your आपका communication skills, they are very important while performing these kind of activities. And at last, आपका identifying unique talents, yes, while doing this excursion and outskirts visits, etc., children will come up with their unique talents. They will be able to identify their talents. Working in groups, different opportunities needs to be provided while these excursion activities. And at the last of this teaching learning process, reflective journal. Reflective journal means whatever they have learned on the basis of their experiential learning, on the basis of their hands-on activities, they are supposed to prepare a report that is referred as reflective journal. So these are the focus areas if a teacher is planning their art integration in science or in any other subject for 9th and 10th graders. Here is the planning or focus areas while planning for art integrated learning at secondary level. Secondary level means 11th and 12th class. Students' involvement is must. Let me tell you that आपका जो this art integrated learning is a pedagogy which is child centric, where student is the center of learning teaching process. So students' involvement is must in designing and in finalizing the activities also. Independent learning has to be there. Cross-cultural tolerance. Yes, in a class, students from different cultures can be present, though there should not be any conflict between. There should be acceptance for all type of culture. Culture can be at language level, it can be at food habit level, it can be at regional level also. Then empowering sense of self and social identity, which is also helpful in developing the vocational skills among young learners. Then linked to career paths. Yes, whatever interests are shown by students. Suppose in your class, one student is good in dance, then you can assign out of that whole single activity, you can assign that particular thing to that student, which is willing to make her or his career in that dance field. And then last is the, again, reflective journal. I have already explained in my previous slide. Now, what are the resources for art integrated learning? Resources are of different type and they are variable from topic to topic, from class to class, and from students' strength. They are dependent upon school, from one student to another, what type of school is there, whether laboratories are available, whether a school is located near to market, where school is having that type of lab. So depending upon your creativity, depending upon your imagination, resources can vary. Important resources include like study material has to be there, from where if required a student can take any type of guidance. They can be reference book, they can be refresher, they can be textbooks. Then आपका raw material like आपका scissors, आपका old ribbons, आपका cardboards, newspapers, old magazines, etc. All these can play as a resource for art integrated learning. Fevicol, आपका adhesives, all these things are very much required. But yes, most important thing is that there should be open space. Open, I mean spacious space or spacious room has to be provided for learners where they can perform that task or conduct that activity in a comfortable way. How does this art integrated learning benefit this teaching learning process? Actually, this art integrated learning, this opens the all horizons of a student. All horizons means all domains. Aapka cognitive, which cognitive can be referred in simple language. Cognitive domain deals with your head, your thinking, your decision making, your intellectual, how to speak, what to speak. All these type of things are included in cognitive domain. Second learning domain is affective domain, which is related to your heart, your emotions, your feelings, your attachments. All these are covered by affective domains. And third learning domain is psychomotor domain, which referred to hands, means where your kinesthetic or your physical movements are required, like doing, performing some activities. So all these three domains are ignited by the involvement of art integrated learning. So we can say that आपका holistic development and development in all learners in any class. Few students are cognitive learners, few are affective learners, and few are psychomotor learners, and few are both or all type of learners. So all students, even if students with special needs are there in your class, so by incorporating this art integrated learning, you can help in the development of that child also. Here again, I'm telling you benefits of art integrated learning. It by involving different forms of art, it can enrich the learners in exploring their critical thinking, their creativity, their imagination, their artistic form. A good art integration approach makes it easier for learners to retain their topics, to understand the topic. By integrating arts, we are just minimizing the burden, minimizing the stress, minimizing the pressure over the students, which is connected to that particular subject. This way, art integration helps in the learning of those difficult concepts in a very simple imaginary, and in form of experiential learning. And experiential learning is always more stable as compared to simple lecture level or आपका simple by explanation teaching form of strategy. Now, after planning, after deciding what resources are available, after considering all the focus areas, after knowing how will that activity or how will that art integration work and going to benefit your learners, now next comes to the assessment. How can we assess if any topic is there and that is taught in form of art integration? So assessment is also very much required according to NEP and according to the SQUIFE also. Assessment is very important part of all type of teaching learning process, and this is a continuous process. Assessment has to be continuous. It's not like that the topic is over or chapter is done and then paper test will be there and assessment is done. No, continuous assessment, consistent assessment can be done while we are using this AIL pedagogy. This assessment provides opportunity for assessment as learning, assessment for learning, and assessment of learning. In art integration approach, this assessment can be done at different levels. After, suppose I have given one project to students, so after 3 days, yes, students have taken that data, or suppose I have given one seeds that you need to grow. You need to see the how does plant germinate, how will that plant grow. So after 3 days, he will come up with some observation. After 7 days, he will come up with some more observation. Maybe after 10 days, he can come up with more ideas. More ideas means at what time he needs to water. If water is not there, how can he preserve the water and how can he help in growing of that plant? What fertilizers he need to provide? He can come up with unique ideas to help to increase the growth of that plant. So at different levels, you will find your learners with different observations. Observations can be in form of visual, in form of drawing, in form of observation table, in form of any photographs or pictures. And on the basis of that, continuously you can assess your students. One more important thing, assessment in art integrated learning is non-comparative type. We can't compare that one student has got 10 marks out of 15 and next student has got 5 marks out of 15. It's not so in art integrated learning because this is non-comparative type of assessment. Maybe if 4 students have worked on a single project, so one student is good in making the report, one student is good in the experimentation of that project, one student in good in providing the resources, or 1/4 student is good in imagination and its critical thinking. So assessment is non-comparative. This is the very good benefit of this art integrated learning, and that's why it reduces threat. It is non-threatening type of assessment as compared to the assessment which is done in form of pen paper test after completion of any normal topic without involving this AIL. What assessment tools can be used by the teacher? Art-based activities, drawing, sketch, mind maps, concept map, flow charts, they can be used to assess that particular group or that particular student. Then portfolio, where he has participated, where one student has sent that entry, where is that student has performed some interviews. All these things will become part of that student's portfolio. You can ask your students to make their own portfolios, and yes, assessment can be done on the basis of their portfolios. Then descriptive as well as anecdotal reports. What description while conducting that activity by the students, what experience, what teacher has experienced, what teacher has come to know about that particular student in form of anecdotal records, in form of discussing with other students. These reports can also become part of assessment techniques. Periodic displays in laboratories, in corridors, in schools, in science fest, anywhere inside the schools. If some display has to be there, that display is done by any student, so you can consider that object as part of your assessment. Coming to project work or dissertation report, if you have assigned some project or any training type of thing, and what is the report, what is the output out of that, you can assess the students based upon that also. Even within the project work, his writing skills, his drawing skills, his presentation skills, his imagination skills, multiple type of skills you can assess based upon only this one project report. That's why art integrated learning is very interesting type of pedagogy, or not only for students, for teachers also. Lastly, storytelling sessions, poetry. You can ask your students to write some poem, to write some slogan writing, to make some rap song based upon, if any difficult topic is there, you ask your student. Definitely out of 30 students in your class, few students will come with very interesting, very rhythmic type of poetry and very rhythmic type of rap songs out of that difficult topic. Story illustrations, letters, posters, banners, all these can be used as assessment tool. Now, coming to this slide, now I will show you few examples of my students only, where students have incorporated art integration in science based upon their creativity only. Topics was assigned, activities were assigned in form of project or in form of homework, in form of summer vacation homework, and students have come up with very good ideas. Now, first, this student. Can you see my screen? Can you, is my screen visible? Can you see my screen, Vikas?
Ma'am, the screen is visible, but I think what you're trying to click and show, I think that's not possible.
Wait, ma'am, I'm trying to show this, that I asked this student to write the all elements in form of calligraphy. Now, can you see, ma'am? He is only 8th class student and he has written all the elements found in periodic table in this calligraphical manner. Can you see, ma'am?
No, ma'am, that is not
No,
possible.
ma'am, we are not able to see it right now. I guess you need to share the next slide.
Wait, sir. Can you see now?
Yes, it is visible now, ma'am.
Okay. So he is only 8th class students. One chapter was there, metals and non-metals, and I battery लगा देना on कर दो उधर से. And I asked him to make this to write all these periodic table elements, and he has come up with these ideas. Calligraphy, very good way to incorporate arts. His spelling skills, his writing skills, his handwriting skills, all can be improved, and teaching along with teaching the science by this. Next I'm going to show you here. I've mentioned here also in different slide. ये दिखा दिया मैंने. Here you can see. Now my next slide. Here about the metal comic strips. Comic strips are also very good way to include arts in the science, in any concept. Here you can see, like for water. If we are going to tell water is made up of H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen, here students can write that yes, hydrogen and oxygen atoms span, they stay together for the maximum time. So that concept will be easily understood by that student. Here they have mentioned about the argon and radon, like they are inert gases, so they can come up with by adding this humor. They can make comic strip like argon and radon are loners. They are not friendly with anyone. They are always stay alone. Here we can see that atomic cookies. If we are going to teach structure of atoms or structure of any element, then atomic cookies can be made, model of atomic cookies. And not like that, that I have shown this here in form of pictures. Students, this picture I got from Google, but yes, my students have come up with buns, with breads, with aapka biscuits, with round shaped biscuits, cookies, biscuits, making that in between of that biscuit, they have kept some cherry. Ma'am, this is nucleus. Surrounding this is electron bonds, and here these electrons are revolving around the protons and neutrons. So this model was prepared by one of the students. That's why I took this type of picture from Google. Next, this project was given in summer break. We all are known that this art integration project, which is very important part from the CBSE side also. Annually, CBSE assigned one partner state to a particular state. Like if I am in Karnataka, so one state, Ladakh. Last year, Ladakh was assigned to us as partner state. So we have done that art integrated project in association with Ladakh. This is the project when I assigned my students. That time I was teaching in Maharashtra, and our partner state was Odisha. Then we give this topic, this project as summer break, and this is only the cover page of that. This is only the cover page of that project, where students have included all type of arts, famous arts of Maharashtra, famous arts of Odisha, all type of musical instrument and calligraphy, and this diagrammatically. You can see this, these all are the musical instruments which are prepared by that child only. These are not taken from anywhere. These are prepared by that child, and he has come up with this type of cover. This is another student where student has incorporated one Jal Tarang topic. If any class 8 science teachers are here, they must be aware that one topic in sound chapter Jal Tarang is there. And everyone was supposed to demonstrate that Jal Tarang. Everyone has used different type of glass, steel glass, half-filled glass, partially or completely filled glass, and plastic glass also were used by few of the students. Then I have come up with the idea that beta, you are not supposed to use glass. Same type of sound if you can try to produce using any musical instrument. So based upon that idea, this student has tried to produce that Jal Tarang type of sounds using this guitar. This is again science holiday homework. Students were assigned to write a story on the friction topic, and in very interesting way, students have wrote their stories. Is my slide visible still?
Yes, it is visible, ma'am. The science holiday homework is visible.
Okay, so answer this left side one project. One student is explaining
this
project.
Yes, ma'am. This is visible. You can play that if you want.
Okay, right. So different type. So here we can see that how beautifully that student has explained different type of irrigation system by using her own creativity and by using not so expensive material indeed. Next again, about fauna, endangered species, extinct species. Here we can see students have drawn the diagram. On right side, one project was given on the no plastics, and students have written, few students have come up with collage, few students have come up with project, few students have come up with this single page type of assignment. Luckily, I could get picture of this one page, so I have shared this picture here. Any type of topic, anything, any subject, not only in science, everywhere you can include the arts in your concept. Here, dispersion topic was explained to my students. And then I asked students, wherever you can see the dispersion of light, please let me know. Few students have told me, ma'am, screen of smart board, that is dispersing the light. Few students told me, ma'am, in our room, I have seen in my dressing table, I could see that dispersion of light. This was the one student who came to me. His friend came to me, ma'am, you can see the dispersion of light on my shoe surface. So why he has come up with this idea, why he was so he could retain this topic, because this art integrated learning is just by learning by doing or experiential learning. Here you can see this is the concept of healthy food, and healthy food you are going to teach milk is healthy, that is having this is having that vitamins. That is normally the rote learning, which is the thing of history nowadays. Nowadays students need to come up with their ideas. Then students, I have assigned this topic only healthy food, and students from different areas, these all girls are from different states, from different places, and they bought their homemade food which are famous in that region, and explained about those food items. Now this slide is also having those type of this is one student. My slide visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible. Like
And you can see
um, the thing is visible. That your slide is visible. If you are opening something, that's not visible. Your normal slide is visible.
so you are not able to see one student explaining something.
No, ma'am. You have to click on that actually, I guess, folder or something. It is must be there.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible. Okay, please.
See, sir.
I think we can't hear the sound, no?
Yes, ma'am. The sound is not audible. Maybe because it fluctuates. Sound
Sound.
sharing is not there.
Wait.
This is Advait Mishra from class 8B, and today I will be presenting my science
Now it is audible, ma'am.
irrigation. This is just a bare model of drip irrigation. So drip irrigation is a type of modern irrigation, and modern irrigations usually focus on conserving water and at the same time giving plants the water that they need, not excessive water. So this is a model, and now I'll show you drip irrigation. As you can see, the water is coming out from the two cuts that I've made here and here. So these are the cuts, and this was a model of irrigation, quite brief, but I hope you liked it, and thank you for your time. Goodbye.
So we can see कि not only that student is able to explain about irrigation, what are benefits of that irrigation, and अभी और भी बताना. If my slides are visible, sir, Vikas sir.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible again.
So firstly, I will show you these examples only. Now this is. So now in previous slide, we have seen, sir, कि not only that student has come up with the understanding of that irrigation system in a very good way. He is able to explain how does it work and what are the benefits of that type of irrigation system. That is possible only after this kind of experiential learning. Next, Aditi. This I have already shown. Yes.
As you know, the water is very important for us and for human beings. So for preserving the water, there are many ways, or we can say many methods for preserving the water. But one of the method which I will explain you and show the demo is rainwater harvesting. In this process, the rainwater collected from the roof of the house, which through this pipe, which slopes down into the filtration tank. The filtration tank filters the water in the way of removing hard particles, or we can say removing large and small particles like stones, and removing dust. After filtration of water, it is stored in the water tank, which can be further used for household activities like washing clothes, or for watering the plants, or for washing cars, and many ways, etc. Well, let me show you the demo in practical way so you can understand in next level. So I take this bucket and I pour it into the pipe which collects the rainwater, and it comes to the filtration tank, which is stored in water tank, as you can see. So like this, the rainwater harvesting works.
Now moving to next slide. Here, this is the project done by the students on disease-causing microorganisms. Yes. This project was done by that student on the disease-causing microorganisms, and she is also from class 8th. Here we can see her project work, as microorganisms chapter was there in class 8th. So not only ki we are teaching that only that concept which is given in NCERT textbooks. As this art integration learning, it involves multidisciplinary as well as multi-levels type of integration. Some topics, some concepts can be included from previous class, and some concept can be taken from next higher class. to widen the horizon of the learners. That's why I've assigned this PPT making topic to that particular students. Can you see my slide, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. You can
This
see
was
the
the action 4, means without any prior information, I've asked students to speak about any topic of their choice, to assess their speaking skills, to assess their thinking skills. And students have come up to speak about any topic of their choice.
Count for 4 calories and remaining calories come from fat, which is 80 calories. One piece of carb cutting provides about 2% of the total daily calorie requirement of the standard diet meals.
Now coming to the interdisciplinary nature of art integrated learning. After seeing this example, now we all are aware that art integrated learning pedagogy involves not only one subject, but it is having multidisciplinary as well as interdisciplinary approach. Its interdisciplinary approach can be understood at 2 levels, across the levels. Across the level interdisciplinary approach. Sir, can you hear me? Am I audible?
You are perfectly audible, ma'am.
Okay, right, sir. Across the level, interdisciplinary nature mean one topic from previous class and one topic from higher class you can choose and assign the students depending upon or assessing after the level of your learners. Like few topics in science are there, they are introduced in primary classes, I mean in lower classes like 6 classes, and their higher concepts are also mentioned in senior classes like 8th, 9th. So depending upon your learner's level, across the level, interdisciplinary type of topic can be assigned to your team. Second type of interdisciplinary nature of AIL involves across the disciplines. Across the disciplines, we all are aware nowadays that CBSE is focusing on STEAM-based learning. STEAM-based models include science, your technology, your engineering, your arts, means arts has to be included in science, in technology, in engineering, and in maths. So by providing these type of activities, you can include social science also. I have shown this diagram this side. This figure is showing just students are making Rakhi. Rakhi means social science. You can tell about Rakhi festival, why it is celebrated, where it is celebrated. So that is related to social science. Students are making Rakhis using their craft skills, using their creative skills. And you are going to how many petals or how many flowers or how many strings you are going to attach to your Rakhi. So here even we are able to include maths in science, maths in social science. And to explain more, to elaborate more about STEAM, I would like to show you some clipping of one of my project recently done by my students. STEAM model. Desktop. Please try to listen it carefully. What the student is telling about.
STEAM and sustainable development. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. We have chosen the sub-theme STEAM and Robotics. We have decided to convert sound energy into electrical energy using piezoelectric heat. I'm Yash Vardhan from NCS Harvard. I'm David.
I'm Anil.
My name is Aryan. Being part of naval communities, we have thought of a creative idea to convert the sound energy into electrical energy. According to the SDG goal, which is in the 7th number, says that green energy is very important. This is the mechanism that I have shown of the engine room. The engine room produces huge amount of vibrations, which causes harm to the marine life. So, in order to say that those marine lives, we have made a piezoelectrical circuit. Piezoelectricity is the conversion of mechanical stress into electrical energy using certain materials like ceramics, quartz, DNA, and other organic materials. Now I'm going to tell you about the engine room. So the engine room first consists of the boilers. The boiler produces steam by boiling the water inside it, and then the steam is transferred to the gearbox. So the gearbox has collections of gears inside it. So due to the pressure exerted by the steam, the gear starts rotating. So when the gear starts rotating, the shaft also rotates, ultimately helping in the rotation of the propellers. And we are thinking of putting the piezoelectrical plates on those gearboxes, which produce around 78 decibel of sound. So we'll be putting it right here. So it will be vibrating like this. So the spring is connected to the gearbox. The spring is connected to the gearbox. So when this gearbox will vibrate, the vibration will be transferred through the spring to the piezoelectrical plate. This is the mechanism of engine room and how we use piezoelectrical plates in the engine room. Now, Alan Sadhu will tell you about the railway track application.
As we have here
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
So here we have seen that how we can include arts in science. I am from biological sciences, and I am in this STEAM-based model means teacher needs to give the task to assign the task to students, and students will come themselves with their innovative ideas, and I can assess their speaking skills, I can assess their creative skills, I can assess their model making skills. This model was recently presented at RI Bhopal, that science conference on 28th February, Science Day, it was celebrated, and students have got 4th prize in that. This is purely STEAM-based model. So this multidisciplinary approach and interdisciplinary approach, these both things makes art integrated learning pedagogy a very important type of way by which we can teach, we can incorporate, we can feel that scientific temperament inside the students. With these words, I conclude my session. And now this session is open for discussion. Thank you.
So amazing, ma'am. So informative session. Being a CI product, I myself have like gone through all these things because their professors usually tell us the same kind of thing. You have to go about flipped learning. You have to do something related to make science more interesting and more practical. So whatever things you have like shown in your PPT and slides and whatever your students have done, it's really commendable. And like I personally, as physics teacher, have learned quite a lot from it. And from the bottom of my, heart, really thank you for providing such insights on the depth of this topic.
I would like to thank Dr. Pratibha Singh, for your insightful and knowledgeable session. We were able to see clearly and comprehend deeply the importance of arts and how it is integrated in science. And we saw the wonderful positive approach. So we were amazed by the wonderful creations of students and their talent, which was put out in integrating art in science. So thank you so much, because we never thought that art could do so much of wonders. So thank you so much, ma'am, for making us realize that point. And also I would like to thank Mr. Vikas for being such a wonderful moderator and kickstarting the session. Then I would like to take this opportunity to thank our collaborative partners, the DKIF and the International Association for Quality Education, for setting such wonderful platform and keeping sessions like this to which we feel connected and gain knowledge directly from the professionals from the industry. So hats off to Mr. Sudhakar Singh and Mr. Janaka Kamalgoda, who are the main two pillars behind this event and the platform. And I would also like to give a special thanks to Rashmi ma'am and Shweta ma'am for coordinating and being always there and doing a lot for this team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words of appreciation. Means a lot. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.